You're listening to a DM podcast.
You're listening to the Betoota Advocate's weekly news wrap on Desert Rock FM 96.5. Welcome back to the Betoota Advocate radio show. I'm Clancy Overell. I'm joined by Wendell, Hussey and Errol Parker, and there's not much going on in the news this week, apart from the right to disconnect, which you'd be pulling your dick over, wouldn't you, Wendell?
Oh, mate, not me. It's fucking unbelievable. This country wasn't built on just clocking off at 5 p.m. on a Friday.
Yeah, I can't wait until you tell me on Sunday night when I ask you for the Cloudflare token, you tell me to go down to the local petrol station and go and suck someone's dick in the bathroom. I think, I'm looking forward to you telling me to do that.
Well,
because
it's not usually the
weekend.
Cloudflare token that I do it for, so it'd be nice to have a proper excuse, I guess.
True. Anyway,
don't
do it because we don't believe in that leftist bullshit up here in Queensland. We get stuff done in Queensland.
It's not really applicable in the media landscape, is it? News doesn't stop at 5 p.m.
Well, we're frontline workers. Everyone should have been clapping for us during the fucking pandemic. Instead, they were clapping for those bloody nurses.
And they were coming for us.
Yeah. We lost a lot of trust, I will admit to that.
At least history will be kind to us.
Yes.
I mean, those dreadful articles written about our newspaper in the fucking Daily Mail, us being like, they're throwing their weight behind anti-lockdown people. It's like, sure. Yeah. Who's crazy now?
We doubled down. Well, tripled down. In fact, it was all me. Sorry. Now, no sport in the news? No, nothing.
Super Bowl!
Oh, yeah, you'd like that,
Wingdings!
Wouldn't you like it? You'd be globalist.
The Gridiron Grand Final.
I tell you what, I'll be telling you to suck one on Monday at about 12 p.m.
Is it this Monday?
Yeah, coming up.
Fuck me, time flies.
I'll be a bucket of cores deep, wings and hot sauce all over myself.
Playing shuffleboard.
And you'll be going, what happened down there? We need to hit our daily quota of Peter Dutton articles. And I'll say, go suck one because I'm watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, that won't be happening because...
It won't be happening in the office.
Clancy actually was going to surprise you with a Super Bowl party, but...
I've ruined it.
You've ruined it now.
Technically, you ruined it.
I ruined it because I for those who are listening at home, 2 days ago, Clancy bought a big green egg barbecue because apparently that's what you use if you're going to do some serious barbecuing. He picked it up on Facebook Marketplace for $1,200, and I know that because it came out of our payroll account. So God knows how Effie is going to pay her rent this weekend on Monday, I should say. But yeah, look. So this morning I spent last night at the office for reasons I won't get into now. But obviously
the couch is comfortable.
We're here for you, Errol. If you want to talk about it.
Anyway, but it's funny because it's actually my house. But anyway, look, I'm not going to get into it. Anyway, so I spent
the house that you no longer live in. Yes.
I spent last night at the office, and then in the morning I saw that someone had left some of those thin, delicious breakfast sausages in the fridge. They were uncooked, and I was like, oh, these are probably here from the January 26th celebration barbecue that we didn't have here at the Betoota Advocate. So I cooked them up. They kind of ponged a bit. So anyway, I've cooked them up in the big green egg this morning, and I let the heat beads go out after I cooked them, and then anyway, so Clancy came in this morning and...
Well, yes, Wendell doesn't ask many questions, but if you want to know why I'm wearing these bandages on my arms and why my nipples are fucking hurting right now is because I wanted to move it to get the party ready for you on Monday, and it was still scorching hot.
Right.
So,
I know better than to ask questions. But I was confused as to what all that stuff was in the bin. I thought it was maybe a fucking bit of asbestos or some shit that you've taken
boiling hot ceramic.
From the
it's boiling hot shattered ceramic. And it's only melting the bin right now it melted my gold chain.
No, so I tried to use some silicone to put it back together again, and then I heard that you got to heat it up again to cure the silicon and make it, hard, but then it just fell apart, but this time with the burning coals inside it, so it's burnt a bit of the back veranda, and it's a multitude of errors, mostly on Clancy's part, but
I should have touched it, or at least looked inside it before I bear hugged it.
Bit of fun.
Anyway.
Band-Aids. Do Band-Aids on the nipples.
Well, look, I saw that bloke down at the hospital. He was doing that spray-on skin for you that they developed in Bali, but I don't think that it's going to make your nipples grow back.
No. I don't know. They'll probably just be able to tell where my nipples were, but I don't know.
Yeah, or they could end up being as small as Tai Tuivas's.
2 cents nips. Anyway, I hope he's listening. Shout out to the
I doubt it.
UFC heavyweight. What's going on in the news, Wendell?
Well, we'll start off with some political news, and this week Parliament has passed a new Greens bill that allows workers to tell the boss to go and get fucked after 5 p.m.
Yes, for the first time since the short-lived carbon tax, Labor has allowed the Greens to get one away this week with a new industrial relations bill that was amended to include the right to disconnect. Now, the law has been proposed by the Greens in their effort to help destroy the cringeworthy and toxic grind culture that has arisen since the invent of smartphones. But no longer will bosses be allowed to ping their employees on any devices or reprimand them for not responding to any correspondence after work.
Yes, Greens leader Adam Bant says he's willing to rewrite the definition of casual employment, so if it means that, quote, when you clock off, you'll be able to switch off. Speaking to The Advocate this week, he said, "We want to live in an Australia where employees are allowed to tell their bosses to go and get fucked after 5 p.m. There are no favours after knockoff. You don't even get to have your phone turned on. They can literally go and get fucked. This will now be law. If your boss is a heterosexual male, you'll be allowed to tell him to go and suck a dick." Because we all know that would be something that he would rather not do.
There you go from Adam Bant there. Look, I'm just glad I won't have to respond to fucking random cat gifs and whatever pops up in your social media feed that you sent
If
me.
you fucking
after
tell
hours,
me,
Errol
if you
Parker.
fucking tell me to go and suck a dick, I will fucking bash you. I will put hands on you. I'll fucking...
Well, because the
Well,
reason we
look, you
usually
can
call
fire
them-
me, but you certainly cannot bash me.
I'll bash you and then sit in the gutter and wait for the cops. That's what I'll do.
I just...
Yeah.
Errol, your
Yeah.
new home will be a hospital bed
Yeah.
if you come for
You
me
can
with fists.
take-
You won't be sleeping on the couch
You can take that
in the
new
office.
law, roll it up on its fancy little paper, and fucking cover it in fucking Vaseline and shove it up your ass, Wendell, because that's not happening here.
Well, actually, we're starting to emulate, this workplace is starting to emulate Parliament House, which is I guess a good transition for our next story.
Sorry. Yes, it is. It is. The headline reads like this. ABC's Nemesis program provides insight into how dumb people make $400K doing fuck all.
Yes, political nerds are still shaving their organic, non-genetically modified carrots this week, with another week of political bickering aired on the national broadcaster. If you are a normal Australian, you were probably watching MAFS rather than the exciting and gossip-fueled bin fire that is the Nemesis documentary about the recent run of Liberal Prime Ministers.
Yes, Lefty Big Brother has proven a hit with people who use Twitter and have shown just how petty the nation's politicians are, and it's also shown how dumb fucks, the bottom of the barrel in this country, can make $400,000 a year for doing absolutely fuck all and bicker with each other in expensive restaurants and Parliament House offices. Truly fascinating stuff, isn't it, Wendell?
Yeah, you say exciting, Clancy. I say yawn, boring. Now, changing it up, and we've got a story about an old codger who gets around the beach in a jockstrap masquerading as swimmers who says some of these Sheila's bikinis are a bit much.
Yes, an older man from our nation's coast has caused a bit of a stir this week by offering up his thoughts on what women should wear to the beach. 72-year-old Terry Price from Caloundra has told The Advocate that he's really appalled by some of the outfits on the beach these days.
Terry, who strolls around the beach in a pair of Speedos that get pretty much entirely swallowed up by his voluptuous curves, says it looks like some of these young ladies lace themselves up in dental floss before heading out for a swim. And he just doesn't know where to look on the 500-metre-long beach he swims in. It's a tough gig for poor old Terry and his poor old little Cheerio cock.
There is literally nowhere else to look on the beach for poor old Terry, you know. He doesn't want to see what they had for breakfast. We'll finish up with some entertainment news now. And Hollywood star Jacob Elordi has paid tribute to his Queenslander roots by teaching a Sydney wanker some manners at the Chloe Hotel.
Yes, Hollywood star Jacob Elordi has settled the debate about whether he's a Melbourne or a Brisbane boy. This happened after he became the subject of a New South Wales police investigation following an alleged melee outside a hotel in Sydney last Saturday.
Yes, proving that thick Queensland blood runs through his veins, Elordi decided to rough up a Kyle and Jackie O producer who was carrying on at a nice establishment in the eastern suburbs of Sydney. As a police statement read, officers attached to the Eastern Suburbs Police Area Command are investigating after a man had some Queensland sensibilities imparted upon him at a Sydney hotel. Police were told about 3:30 p.m. on Saturday the 3rd of February 2024 that a Sydney wanker was allegedly dusted off by an honourable Queenslander. The man did not sustain any injuries but is likely having a good long think about what he's done.
There you go. That's the end of the bulletin for this week. Just to clarify, do I need to cancel the detector inspector that I booked for my house at 12 p.m. on Monday? Super Bowl party or not? What are we doing?
Wait, the right to disconnect
Are
does
you
not
getting another
extend to
egg or
American
not?
sport. I'm sorry about that. If you
No,
go
I've
and celebrate,
got-
if you go and celebrate that disgraceful Americanization of this country, you can go and get fucked yourself.
Yeah.
I have got a smoke alarm inspector coming at 12 p.m. on Monday. He might take a couple of hours. Do I need to cancel that appointment or not?
Smoke alarms are for lefties, mate. You don't need them.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Hooroo!
Ciao.